Listen up. Whether you're an ambitious entrepreneur, a hardworking dreamer, a relentless hustler, or even someone who's still completely lost, questioning every step they take, this message is for you. Good morning. I'm Jack Ma, and today, I want to share something so powerful, it could flip your entire life upside down in the best way possible. Are you ready? Here it is. Start small. Think big. Move fast if that's it. Boom. Mic drop. Thanks for coming. Just kidding. If it were that simple, Alibaba wouldn't even exist. Let's be real for a second. Let's talk heart to heart. When people see Alibaba now, they often assume I had some sort of master blueprint from the start. Like I woke up one fine morning, stretched my arms, and declared, "Today, I shall build a company that will battle Amazon, challenge eBay, and take on Google." Honestly, that couldn't be further from the truth that on day one, I had absolutely nothing. No money, no business experience, no connections whatsoever. But I had one thing. The most important thing, an absolutely crazy belief. Everything started inside my tiny apartment, with 17 friends squeezed around a single table. We drank cheap tea and passionately discussed how we were going to change the world. You know what? We had a wild dream and painfully slow internet. Dangerous combo, right? People always ask me, "Jack, what if I don't have enough resources? How can I start?" Let me ask you this. Does a baby lion need to own the entire jungle to let out its first roar? Of course not. It just needs to survive, eat, and grow. Starting small isn't a weakness. It's your hidden strength. When you're small, you can bend. You can adapt. You can experiment freely without worrying about making the headlines. No newspaper is going to write, "John's little barbershop fails." And you know what? That's a good thing. No one's watching yet, and that gives you space to grow. Many people say, "But Jack, I want to go big from the start. I want investors, big. Offices, funding." Stop right there. If you can't build something amazing with $1,000, you won't magically succeed with $1,000,000. Because when you only have a little money, you're forced to use your brain, your creativity, your heart. But when you have too much, your ego starts making decisions for you. Alibaba's first step? We simply listed Chinese businesses online. Was it flashy? No. Was it glamorous? Absolutely not. But it solved a very real, very urgent problem, and that's the secret. You don't need to be some genius to solve problems. You just need to listen, start small. But for heaven's sake, start. Don't sit around waiting for perfect timing, perfect investors, or a flawless market. Because if you wait for perfection, congratulations, you'll be perfectly broke. Remember, I said start small, but that doesn't mean think small. Thinking small is a disease. There are only two kinds of people in this world. One looks at an opportunity and thinks, "How can I make this happen?" The other looks at the same opportunity and says, "Too difficult. Not for me." Don't fall into the trap of being the second guy. You know who I'm talking about. The person who spends their life selling motivational quotes they never actually followed themselves. Don't become that person. When we were building Alibaba, I didn't tell my team, "Let's just focus on doing business in our hometown, Hangzhou." No, I asked them, "Why not all of China? And why stop there? Why not the whole world?" Honestly, back then, my English was terrible. My tech skills, zero. I couldn't write a single line of code. I didn't even know how to install a printer. But I did know one thing with absolute certainty. The internet was going to change everything. So I told myself this simple truth. Jack, just because you don't understand something today doesn't mean you can't lead tomorrow. Dreaming big isn't about arrogance. It's not about showing off. It's about having vision. Even if you fail, you'll fall forward, you'll still move ahead. But you know what happens when you think small? It makes you afraid. It traps you into competing with your next-door neighbor, instead of competing on a global scale. It gives you a false sense of safety, while your dreams slowly wither away in silence. People ask me all the time, but Jack, what if I'm not special? Let me ask you this. Was I special? I was a failed student. An English teacher who couldn't even get a job at KFC. Seriously, 24 people applied. They hired 23. And I was the only one rejected. The only thing I had that others didn't was the sheer size of my dream. And I told my team from the very beginning, we're not doing this just for today. We're doing this for the next 100 years. If your dream is small enough to fit in your pocket, throw it away. Your dream should be so big, people literally laugh at you. Because if no one's laughing, it simply isn't big enough. Now, listen closely to this next part, because it's crucial. Speed is everything. People love to tell me, Jack, I need more time to plan everything perfectly. I need to wait for the right moment. Let me tell you something funny. Even a turtle moves faster than someone who's always waiting. The world isn't waiting for you. Technology moves fast. Customers change fast. Competitors move even faster. And guess what? Fear moves the fastest. Of all, when I launched Alibaba, we didn't sit around making perfect plans. We made decisions quickly. Were we always right? No, but we learned fast. And that's what mattered. Too many people are paralyzed by the fear of failing that they're stuck in preparation mode. Always reading, always watching TED Talks, always researching, but never doing. Knowledge is good, but action is better. You don't need to know everything to get started. You just need to start. That here's my golden rule. If you want to eat a big cake, take the first bite fast. Even if you choke a little, at least now you know how the cake tastes. Let me tell you a quick story. In 1995, I visited the US and saw the internet for the very first time. I searched for China. You know what I found? Nothing. I thought, wait a minute, I'm Chinese. How can I not exist on the internet? So I rushed back home and told my friends, we must bring China online. They looked at me like I was insane. They said, Jack, you're crazy. I simply smiled and replied, yes, but at least I'm crazy first. Here's the truth. The faster you start, the faster you fail. The faster you fail, the faster you learn. And the faster you learn, the faster you succeed. Many people think failure is the opposite of success. Wrong. Failure is a part of success. Before I finally succeeded, I failed many times. I failed my university entrance exam twice. I applied for 30 jobs, rejected by every single one. Even KFC said no. Out of 24 applicants, they hired 23. And the only one left out? Me. Even the chicken had better luck than I did. I failed so often that failure became like an old friend to me. But I didn't let it define me. I let it refine me. That here's something you should always remember. Success won't teach you much. But failure? Failure will slap your ego, crush your pride, and teach you humility like nothing else. Don't be ashamed of falling down. Be ashamed only if you never get back up. People don't just respect success. They respect resilience. Get up again and again until even failure itself gets tired of you. My company. I always remind my team, I am not the smartest person here. My job isn't to know everything. My job is to find the smart people. That's how leaders win. One of the greatest lessons in business and in life is this. You must build the best team. Surround yourself with people who challenge you, inspire you, and yes, even those who occasionally annoy you with hard truths you don't want to hear. Don't just hire your buddies because they're fun to hang out with. Instead, hire that crazy guy. You know, the one who's always talking about the future, drinking way too much coffee, and dreaming out loud about things that sound impossible. But that's your innovator. That's the person who can change the game. You don't need to be the smartest person in the room. Your job isn't to know everything. Your job is to build an environment where smart, passionate people actually want to stay. And let me tell you something important. If you're always the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. Now, let me be very clear about this. If you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong. Yes, business is serious, but it's not meant to suck the joy out of your life. You need to enjoy the ride. Laugh with your team. Celebrate every small win, no matter how tiny it seems. Learn to smile and say, "We failed, but at least we didn't die." At Alibaba, we used to do something that probably sounds crazy to most people. We'd have singing sessions together. Yep, singing. Sounds ridiculous, right? But we did it because when your heart feels light, your mind becomes sharp. Creativity flows when you're happy. Don't turn into a robot just chasing money. Be a human being, creating something meaningful, because money comes and money goes. But the joy of building something that can last forever, that joy stays with you. Now, let me wrap this all up like a perfect Chinese dumpling. Small on the outside, but packed with wisdom inside. Here's the truth. Be patient. Rome wasn't built in a day. Neither was Alibaba. Great things take time. Don't fall into the trap of comparing your chapter 1 with someone else's chapter 2. Be persistent. If plan A fails, go for plan B. If that crashes, try plan C. And if you run out of letters, create new ones. Be passionate. If you don't love what you're doing, don't even bother starting. Because when things get tough, and trust me, they always do, you'll quit if you're not passionate. People often ask me, "Jack, what's the secret to your success?" I tell them, start small, think big, move fast, and most importantly, never, ever give up. Even when people laugh at you, even when you're flat broke, even when your own family looks at you and says, "Are you sure this business idea isn't some kind of scam?" Even when you're sitting there, slurping instant noodles for the 17th time that week, wondering if you've lost your mind. One day, you'll look back at that version of yourself and laugh. You'll say, "That was the year I had nothing except a dream. And somehow that was enough." So, start something today. Maybe it's a blog. Maybe it's a product. Maybe it's a YouTube channel, a podcast, an app, or even a tiny shop. Whatever it is, start it. Think big about what it could become. Don't limit yourself. And move fast. Don't wait around for the world to catch up. Because, believe it or not, right now, the world is waiting for you. Thank you. Thank you so much for listening. And remember this, even the longest journey, one that spans 1,000 miles, always starts with a single step. But only if you actually take that step. What are you waiting for? Go take it.